Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost. Here's a roundup of stories from across the world. The Israeli military has confirmed that 31 of the remaining hostages under Hamas have been killed. A spokesperson for the Israeli army said that families of the dead have been informed. This comes as talks on another potential ceasefire deal seeking a pause in fighting and release of hostages gain momentum. In November last year, Hamas had released about 100 hostages during temporary truce. However, more than 100 hostages are still in captivity. An Israeli airstrike hit a residential building in Gaza's Rafah city yesterday. At least 3 people, including a journalist and 2 women, were killed. The building was reportedly sheltering many displaced families at the time of the attack. This comes as Israel is now looking to expand its operations in Rafah. The army believes more Hamas terrorists are hiding in the region. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Tel Aviv from Cairo. Blinken is on his 5th West Asia trip ever since the Israel-Hamas war broke out. He is there to chalk out a hostage deal and push for a ceasefire in Gaza. On Tuesday, Blinken met with leaders of Egypt and Qatar. In Doha, Blinken held a news conference with Qatar's Prime Minister, who said that Hamas's reaction to the latest ceasefire plan has been positive. U.S. lawmakers have rejected a Republican-led bill to provide $17.6 billion to Israel. Democrat lawmakers said that they wanted to vote on a broader measure instead. It would provide assistance to Ukraine and allocate money for border security. Argentina's President Javier Milei met Israeli President Isaac Herzog in Jerusalem. During the meeting, the 2 leaders discussed the fate of the hostages. He said that at least 11 of the hostages currently under Hamas are Argentinian citizens. Earlier in the day, he also visited the Western Wall in the Old City of Jerusalem. Milei was seen weeping as he prayed at the site. He is scheduled to hold talks with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Meanwhile, Milei's so-called omnibus reform has failed to gain approval in Argentina's parliament. It has been sent back to the committee for a rewrite. This deals a major blow to Milei, who was confident that the bill would pass with a resounding majority. The reforms aim to overhaul the South American country's economy amid a dire debt crisis and inflation running beyond 200%. Former Chilean President Sebastián Piñera died in a helicopter crash. The helicopter carrying Piñera and 3 others plunged into a lake in southern Chile. Piñera was pronounced dead shortly after rescue personnel arrived at the scene. However, the other 3 passengers have survived the accident. President Gabriel Boric declared 3 days of national mourning to mark his death, while world leaders sent their condolences. Rafael Grossi, the chief of International Atomic Energy Agency, will visit Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Ahead of his visit, Grossi met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. They discussed the current strategy and security situation and potential risks at the plant. In 2022, Russia gained control of the nuclear power plant after it launched an attack against Ukraine. In the Turkish capital of Istanbul, 1 person was killed in an attack outside a courthouse. 6 people, including 3 police officers, have also been wounded. Meanwhile, the police say they've shot down the attackers. According to the Turkish government, the gunmen were affiliated with a local militant group. Thailand's former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has been charged with insulting the monarchy. Officials said that the complaint concerns a 2015 interview. The potential charge comes just weeks before his possible release on parole. The jailed billionaire is the latest political figure to face prosecution under the country's strict defamation laws. An Indian student was brutally attacked in the U.S. city of Chicago. CCTV footage that has now gone viral shows the attackers chasing Syed Mazahir Ali. Following the attack, Ali released a video where he was bleeding profusely and desperately calling for help. This has raised concerns over the safety of Indian students in the United States. Reports say that at least 5 Indian students have died in the US within the past month. At least 10 people were killed after a car bomb blast in Somalia. The attack took place at a popular market in the capital city of Mogadishu. 20 others were reportedly wounded in the explosion. It is not yet clear who was responsible for the blasts. Kenyan cult leader Paul Mackenzie has been charged with the murders of 191 children. This comes after more than 400 bodies were found buried in forests last year. Survivors and victims alleged that Mackenzie urged his followers to fast in order to meet Jesus. He has already been charged with committing acts of terror, child cruelty and torture. He has denied all those charges. In climate news, the European Union Commission urged the EU countries to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 90%. The European Union eyes to reach this ambitious target by 2040. However, the proposal goes light on farming as emissions cut for agriculture was left out. The previous draft recommended that the Agriculture Department needs to cut on non-carbon dioxide emissions 30% by 2040. The increasing pollution in river sources could hit over 3 billion people with water scarcity. This is happening because humans are dumping large amounts of chemicals and plastics into water bodies. Scientists in Germany and the Netherlands say river basins around the world are facing water scarcity twice as much as previously calculated in 2010. The situation could get worse in the coming years. The death toll from an inferno which razed central Chile has risen to 131. Authorities say the wildfire could have been set intentionally. Scientists blame hot temperatures for the rapid spread of the wildfires. The region was going through a heat wave triggered by climate change and the El Niño phenomena. According to reports, firefighters are still battling 9 active blazes in central Chile. Strong winds and high sea waves battered Cuba's northern coast. Streets were flooded with seawater, causing power outages and blowing trash across Havana city. The temperature dropped to 12 degrees Celsius in Havana, which is unusually chilly for the region. Scientists say the region has become vulnerable to rising sea levels and storm storms due to human-caused climate change. Environmentalists are concerned that Mexico's Maya train will damage the ancient Mayan caves. Experts inspected ancient caves in which concrete and steel pilings have been installed as a part of the train's route construction. They fear that the vibrations from the construction machines and the train will damage the roofs of the caves. The train will connect popular tourist destinations in Mexico. 11 Ugandan climate activists charged for protesting against the East Africa crude oil pipeline will appear in court on 7th of February. This reportedly comes after they were beaten and held arbitrarily in a maximum security prison for a month. They were demanding the Uganda government to stop the construction of a crude oil pipeline. The project will reportedly generate 379 million tons of carbon dioxide over 25 years. If the 11 activists are convicted, then they will be jailed for up to a year. Climate change in India is pushing tigers to high-altitude mountains. Researchers attribute this trend to rising human pressure and a warming climate. Tigers usually prefer lower-altitude valleys, but their migration indicates that they are under pressure. Swathes of species across the globe are shifting their range. In the past few years, tigers have been spotted as high as 13,000 feet. On to business and tech news. 4 bolts were missing in the Boeing 737 MAX 9 jet store that blew out mid-air earlier this year. This is according to an initial probe by the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board. Following the report, Boeing has taken accountability for what happened. Earlier in January, the door panel of an Alaska Airlines jet blew out minutes after takeoff. The incident has turned into a full-blown safety crisis for Boeing 737 MAX jets. Honda Motors is recalling about 750,000 vehicles in the US. This is due to defective airbags in the cars. The recall includes some Honda Pilot, Accord and Civic cars from 2020 to 2022 year models. and some Honda CR-V and Passport cars from the 2020 and 2021 models. Meanwhile, General Motors is also recalling over 300,000 vehicles. This is over an issue with the vehicle's tailgate. A tailgate is a door at the back of a vehicle. A US regulator says GM's tailgate can open while driving, which may cause a potential road hazard. The affected vehicles include certain models of Chevrolet Silverado 2500, 3500 and GMC Sierra 2500, 3500. Amazon is planning to cut a few hundred jobs across its healthcare units. Reports say roughly 115 positions may be eliminated in One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy. One Medical is a healthcare provider that Amazon acquired in 2022. The firm plans to save over $100 million this year. Meanwhile, banking giant UBS has also revealed cost-cutting measures. The Swiss bank wants to save over $13 billion at the end of 2026. This comes as the lender integrates with rival Credit Suisse. UBS says most of its savings will come through job cuts. It acquired struggling Credit Suisse last year. British energy giant BP has reported $3 billion in profit for the fourth quarter. This is above the market expectations. Markets had priced in a profit of around $2.8 billion. However, the company said that its full-year profits for 2023 declined to $13.8 billion, far lower compared to $27 billion reported in 2022. Profits of energy firms have dwindled as oil prices cooled down last year. Shares of Snap Inc., the parent company Snapchat, crashed over 30% on Tuesday. This after the social media platform reported lower than expected profits in the fourth quarter. Snap saw a quarterly revenue of $1.36 billion, which was below the market projection of $1.38 billion. Analysts believe Snapchat failed to capitalize on the advertising market, while its competitors like Google and Meta saw a double-digit growth in ad sales. Google has agreed to settle a shareholders' lawsuit on alleged personal data leak. The tech giant will pay $350 million for the settlement, which is yet to be approved by a US judge. The issue relates to a software glitch that exposed Google Plus users' personal data in 2018. The social media website has been replaced with Google Currents. In coming months, Meta platforms will start detecting and labeling artificial intelligence-generated images. The firm will apply labels to content created by other AI companies. Meta already labels any content generated using its own AI tools. The move aims to mitigate the potential harms associated with generative AI. Meanwhile, 3 US firms have joined hands to launch new sports streaming service. Walt Disney, Fox Corp and Warner Bros. Discovery will launch the streaming platform later this year. The move will integrate broad sports portfolios of these firms into one platform. This includes the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, the FIFA World Cup and college competitions. It will also digitally club programming from ESPN, TNT and FS1. On to sports now, and in cricket, Zimbabwe will host India for a 5-match T20 international series in July. Zimbabwe's cricket board said, and I quote, "We are absolutely thrilled to be hosting India in what will be our biggest international attraction at home this year." The 5-match T20 international series starts from 6th of July to 14th of July in Zimbabwe's capital. The coach of the Indian Premier League franchise Mumbai Indians explained why Rohit Sharma was removed from captaincy for IPL 2024. He said Rohit's removal from captaincy was meant to free him as a batter, considering he did not have a great run in the past couple of seasons. The coach said the move will allow Rohit to operate more freely with the bat. Pakistan's cricket board has appointed Syed as their full-time chairman. He will remain in the position for a 3-year term. His first major task will be to supervise the upcoming Pakistan Super League or the PSL. Naqvi will have a tough job ahead considering Pakistan cricket team is going through a turbulent phase after the ODI World Cup last year. The three-match ODI series between Australia and West Indies ended with the world champions Australia giving West Indies a whitewash. Australia beat West Indies by 8 wickets in the third ODI to seal the series 3-0. Batting first, the Windies were bundled out for 86 runs. Australia chased down the 87-run target inside 7 overs. In football, Lionel Messi was back in training as Inter Miami prepared to face Japanese J-League champions Vissel Kobe. It is still not clear if he'll play in the match. During training, Messi showed no signs of pain or injury, which kept him out during the Hong Kong friendly. Messi's no-show sparked an uproar among fans in Hong Kong who demanded refunds. Ahead of the semi-final clash against Qatar, Iranian midfielder Syed raised doubts about the AFC appointing an Arab referee. The semi-final clash between Iran and the defending champions Qatar is today, and it will be officiated by Kuwait's Ahmed Al Ali, who's taken charge of 2 group matches. Iran, which primarily consists of Persian and Shia Muslim population, has had long-standing tensions and conflicts with the Arab world. Reports say a record 67.8 million American adults are expected to bet over $23 billion on Super Bowl this weekend. Data collected from a survey show this number is up by 35% compared to last year. The Super Bowl in Las Vegas is expected to generate $20 billion in bets. Over to tennis now. At the Abu Dhabi Open, Japan's Naomi Osaka faced a setback in the first round yesterday. Osaka was beaten by the former world number 7 Danielle Collins 5-7-0-6. The Japanese star returned to court last month after a 15-month hiatus. Osaka also lost her doubles match in straight sets alongside Ons Jabeur later that day. Paris Olympics chief Tony Estanguet faces legal investigation over his pay. The inquiry reportedly began last week and will look into the manner in which the Olympics chief receives his pay as head of the organizing committee. His annual pay of $290,000 after tax and bonus was made public in 2018 after reports claimed he would receive almost double that amount. This is the latest in a string of legal problems that the organizing team is embroiled in. France's oldest living Olympic medalist, Charles Coste, is set to carry a torch at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Coste, who will turn 100 on the 8th of February, won gold in track cycling when he participated in the 1948 Summer Games in London. Taylor Swift's lawyers are threatening to sue a college student who's tracking her jet and uploading the details on social media. A warning letter was sent to Jack Sweeney, who's a student of Central Florida University. Sweeney's social media accounts post details about the jets used by public figures and their carbon footprints. He uses public data from the Federal Aviation Administration and broadcasts signals from aircraft. Swift's lawyer accused him of stalking and harassing their clients. Singer Megan Thee Stallion's song Hiss has taken the top spot in the Billboard's Hot 100 list. According to Billboard, Hiss got 29.2 million streams in the first week. It was downloaded over 100,000 times. Hiss is Stallion's first #1 track since 2021. Rapper Killer Mike says a confusing situation at the entry gate of the Grammys led to his arrest. Mike is confident he will be cleared of all wrongdoings. After winning 3 Grammys, Mike was led out of ceremony in handcuffs. The Los Angeles police stated that he was detained for a physical altercation and was subsequently arrested. Actor Kevin Spacey will pay $1 million to the production company of House of Cards. This is to settle a sexual harassment claim. He was accused of sexually harassing male staffers on the show. In 2017, the makers dropped him from the final season after an arbitrator found that the allegations were credible. Actor Jonathan Major's sentencing in a domestic assault case has been delayed again. The actor was due to receive his sentence in February, but it has now been delayed to April 8th. This happened after his lawyers filed a motion to set aside the verdict. In 2023, a jury found Jonathan Majors guilty of assaulting and harassing his former girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Euphoria actor Jacob Elordi is under investigation for physically assaulting a radio host. The victim, Joshua Fox, stated that he reached out to Elordi for a light-hearted prank video which turned into a physical altercation. He revealed that Elordi demanded the video to be edited, and despite his compliance, the actor pushed him against a wall. However, Fox has reportedly decided not to pursue any legal action. Actor Gina Kanao is suing Disney and Lucasfilm for firing her from The Mandalorian. She claims that she was fired for exercising her right to free speech. Kanao's lawsuit is backed by Elon Musk's X, formerly known as Twitter. She's seeking $75,000 in damages. Her lawsuit states that Kanao was posting about her personal political views and Disney's actions damaged her reputation. American sitcom TV series Animal Control has been renewed for Season 3. The news comes weeks before the premiere of Season 2 on March 6. The series will follow the story of animal workers in Seattle who discover that their lives are complicated more by humans than animals. According to reports, a crew member of Marvel's Wonder Man died on the set at a studio in California following an accident. He worked as a rigger and fell from the rafters. A rigger is a person who works with ropes and lifts to execute action scenes in a production. A Marvel spokesperson said that the incident is under investigation. US country music star Toby Keith has passed away at the age of 62. The news comes months after he announced his battle with cancer. A post on his X account stated that he fought the illness with grace and courage. Keith is survived by his wife Tricia Lucas, 3 children and 4 grandchildren.